should get connected. All right, just gonna give it a couple of more seconds for it to do the trick. All righty. All right, and I think we're live. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Ksenia with Keller Realty East Bay, and with me today is Steve Tsvetkov, mortgage broker. Steve, good afternoon. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Ksenia, for having me on today. My name is Steve Tsvetkov. I'm a mortgage broker and owner of AUE Lending. We're based out of Walnut Creek. We do loans through the whole state of California, Florida, Washington, and Missouri. Today, I wanted to hop on and just kind of give my expertise, answer any questions about the California Dream for All program.
Great, thank you for being here. So today we're going to discuss and guide you every step of the way with this new program that just came out, and I believe it's not going to last long. It is called Down Payment Assistance Program Dream for All. It does sound like California Dreaming, like this song, the California.
Yeah.
So I've read about the program, and I know that we have, and I think there are, I saw benefits of this program, but I just wanted to clarify. I know there are down payment assistance programs already existing, and what it means, so we have 3% and 3% down payment assistance. So when the bank is giving the money, they're basically giving you a loan on 3%, 3.5%, and you pay a little bit higher rate. This is how the banks make their money. So with this program, down payment assistance, I do believe there's no such thing like a free money, and banks lending still needs to make their money. So tell me a little bit more. This program about.
I've been working with this organization for a couple of years now, and I remember when there was deals that they were giving 3%, 5%. Last year there was a first time ever that by the way, the organization is called Cal FHA. You go to their website, there's a bunch of material for people, for realtors, for pretty much a lot of information is located there. But last year, there was something called Equity Builder. Same thing. It was a 10% grant that if you live there for 5 years and you actually had to physically show them that you're still there every one of those 5 years. And then every year that you stay living there, 1/5 of the total loan amount would be forgiven. So it was really cool. It was the first time ever they gave 10% grant, and it was forgiven in 5 years. And that went really quick. I had maybe 3 or 4 clients that took advantage of it. And then the funds were depleted and the program was closed around October of last year. Now this year it was announced, close to the end of last year. It was announced that this program would be in existence, but this is very aggressive. I don't think we've ever seen it. I've been doing this 9 years. I've never seen a grant that gives you 20% down payment. So this is the first time they're ever doing it. It's very popular right now. There's a lot of people inquiring about it. There's a lot of people taking advantage of it, but like you said, it's limited amount. The downside is not everyone could use it. So the state, at first, they were going to allocate about $500 million for the whole state for people to use this fund. And then when they came out, that amount was dropped to $300 million. So even less people could use it.
Okay.
So in short, let's just use an example, like $1 million purchase, just to keep numbers pretty small, or not small. Well, I guess small for Bay Area is kind of average, but let's keep numbers easy to calculate. So $1 million purchase price would be the price on the contract. Now we would get 80%, so an $800,000 loan from a conventional lender. So this is not, you're not paying higher rates because you're using this program. You're still getting the same rate. Like for example, today it's a 6.375 on a 30-year fix, which is sometimes even lower than if you were to go with the regular 5% down payment loan. And so in that same scenario, 1 million purchase price, 800 would be the main loan. and then 200 would come from the state, which is 20% down payment of the purchase price. And it's still a loan, so it's not like the state is coming with a bag of money and like, here, Mr. Seller, like
Right.
we're gonna help Ksenia out with the purchase. So it's still a loan. It gets it's part of the transaction. It gets recorded. It's on the property. The cool thing about it is there's no payments, there's no interest rate, there's nothing accruing every month. So it's not yeah, it's kind of like a silent loan that you use for the down payment.
Okay. And you do need to give it back once, for example, in 5 years, I decide to sell the property. Well, how would I, so what's going to happen if I decide to sell it?
Basically in 5 years, let's assume that the property is 1.1 now, and then your main loan is not 800, but it's, 750 now or whatever it would be. So it'll be the new purchase price minus what you owe on the current loan. You still have to pay back the 20%, the 200,000 that's there. And then since the property did increase in value, so the state has this thing, part of the agreement. So they're gonna want either 15% or 20%, just depending on your income, like if you qualify for low income or not. But I mean, in Bay Area, low income could be 160,000 in some counties. So like, depends on where you land, you're either gonna have to give 15% of the growth or 20%. So in that same example, the property grew by 100,000. So on top of the 200,000 you have to return, you're either gonna have to add 15,000 or 20,000.
Okay. All right. Well, that does sound like a partnership to me, which is pretty good. I mean, if I had an option like this, probably I would take advantage. So I see the benefits right now. You mentioned lower interest rates than the regular financing. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, it's for I just locked one today. It was in Concord for 1.2 purchase price. The loan was like 1 million. A little bit more than 800,000, but it still falls in the same category. That interest rate was 6.25. This program today was 6.375.
All right. Could possibly a person refinance this loan, or does it make sense to refinance the loan? What do you think?
Definitely makes sense, because so let's just focus on the first loan. So that same example. So the $800,000 loan today you're getting at 6.375, 6.5, whatever. I mean, it fluctuates daily. Today it's 6.375. So that main loan. Now a year, 2 passes. Everyone is refinancing. Everyone is buying again because interest rates are 4.5. So with this program, I know initially there was a lot of verbiage that said that that if you refinance, it means you have to pay it back, but it's actually not true. You have one time where you could take that $800,000 loan, you could refinance it into a market rate, say it's 4.5, redo it, you'll save like $1,000 per month. And then the second loan is just going to remain in the second position, and then it will stay there until you do another refinance, or if you end up selling.
Interesting. Great. What is the minimum, for example, I would like to take advantage. What is the minimum credit score? I know that, and actually another good thing that since banks are giving you the money and they're putting their equity, their money into this home, I can also see it as backing up the theory that market is not going to crash, and banks see the value in investing in real estate, because we don't see the tendency the market is crashing. And I know there's the news telling like, oh, it's going to crash. Yeah, get ready. That's not what we see right now. We see more buyers entering the market. We're seeing now multiple offers. Properties are selling faster than it was selling 2 months ago. And the fact that the banks, that we have this program, it also tells me that the market isn't going to crash. They see.
No, it's a good sign. I mean, some people could argue that, like, our state is not ran like the best, and like, financially it's always like in debt and like bad budget. But at the end of the day, like they can't be like,
Right.
doing this move and then not expecting that there's going to be some return, So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it's a good sign. It's definitely, I mean, mortgage applications the last 3 weeks have been like through the roof. Um,
Okay. So
Probably
you're
like,
seeing more mortgage applications?
oh yeah, a lot of applications. Buyers are excited about this. It's
Mm-hmm.
not super easy to get it accepted. It's the only downside, because there's still not much inventory there, and you really have to work hard to get this kind of offer accepted.
Mm-hmm. Not so much inventory. I agree with you. There's like we're still in the low inventory level, still is, and it's just yeah, we need some
Yeah, so it's kind of
inventory.
like this is adding fuel to the fire, but it's I mean, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it means that this fund will kind of last a little bit longer because
Mhm.
there's still a lot of buyers that aren't using the fund and they're your same competition. Like what this program did, like I'll give you an example. My client that's using this right now,
Mhm.
2, 3 months ago, we pre-approved to like 700 condo, and it was very,
Wow.
very like borderline. Uh,
Right.
this program came out, and he was on board. He already knew that this is
Mhm.
for him. So now, sorry, so he's in contract for 900. So just because we have this grant for 180 that we're using,
Mhm.
his purchase power just increased from 700 to 900 in just a matter of a couple of weeks.
And it's better, I guess it's a better property since you getting a little bit higher, since the purchase price is high. That's great. I mean, those are the benefits.
Yeah.
All right. So what is the minimum credit score right now that
So 680 is like ideal,
Mhm.
because 680 will cover all income categories. But if somebody falls in like a lower income category, then
Mhm.
we could do 660 as the minimum.
All right. Uh who is gonna like okay, let's get it straight. This is a program for the first time home buyer, right? Can you please clarify who is the first time home buyer? For example, I bought a property, then I sold it 5 years ago. Can I use this program? Am I
Yeah, yeah. And even everyone thought when this came out that it was going to be super strict. You cannot be vested on the property. You cannot have any ownership at all.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sell everything and then use this.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you actually, you could have investment property in different states. You could even have investment property in California. But as
Oh.
long as the last 3 years you didn't live in an owner-occupied property that you own, you
Mm-hmm.
were renting, you
Okay.
can use this.
Okay. So, all right. Understood. Income restrictions. So where can we find it? And for example, let's take this area, Contra Costa. What is the income restrictions?
282 per year.
282 per household.
No, it's not per household.
No,
It's per borrower.
just for borrower. For
Yeah.
what if I'm married and my husband makes 280 and I make 100? Should he just apply for this program? What would you suggest?
You could both apply. It's just we only use his income for the loan, and then for your income, we could just put, not use it basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, in the past, some of these programs required the spouse to quit claim, to get off the title, to only do the transaction on one person. But this time around, you actually can do that. So I mean, I have an IT couple that makes $500,000, and then
Mm-hmm.
only one of them it's like 220, and then the other one is making the other part. They're both going to be on the loan, but we're only going to use one income.
Okay. Well, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean
Mhm.
it's like it just makes it to where more and more people could use it. I don't know if we should be saying this out loud, but there's definitely like little I don't know
Well,
if you say
I
it's
think
tricks, it's
it's
allowed.
yeah, I think it's just personal. I mean, if it's benefits you like in the long run, because for example, if you take 3.5% down payment assistance, you can refinance later on, like in 3 or 4 years, to a conventional loan, right?
Mhm.
Would it be just, anyway, another topic. And well, another thing is it's only available in California, right? Which means
No, this is a California program.
which means which means the real estate market isn't going down, at least here in California. And that's what I see in people who have investment portfolios. They do have an investment here is a real estate in California. It's easier with maintenance, properties always appreciating, that kind of thing.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, for the Bay Area, for sure. I mean, you and I both live and work in the Bay Area. For some reason, this program in LA County, their income is 2 times less. It's only 190. It's kind of
Really?
weird. It's kind of weird to me, but I mean, they always follow the Bay Area's income limits and loan amounts. But for this program, LA County, Orange County, it's much lower than us.
Interesting. Question, for example, do you have an online calculator, like a site where I can go and take a look at the numbers or work out the numbers? Something like that?
Do I know? But I mean, I don't know if somebody is interested. I mean, feel free to reach out, send an email. This is something that could be done really quick.
All right. Well, that's great. Well, thank you, Steve, so much. Not gonna hold you for so long. I think the information is great. And I see the benefits of this program. I mean, for example, if I make some money and I want to take advantage, buy a property, get some assistance, get into a property, live there. And the idea is that you're going to get an equity. So this is, I think this is really interesting. So the idea is that you're going to get an equity and you're going to pay back. So it's not really free money. So this is where the banks are making money. That makes sense to me because I heard from people like, oh, it's free money. But when you hear like free money, it's like, it's never free. You have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
No, it's I mean, I think it's really cool, to be honest. It has a lot of flexibility there. You could even start making payments on the second loan if you really want.
All right. Thank you, Steve. It's so great talking to you. I have just one last question. It's not really related to call FHA. Something that I remember you said, like, for example, what if person just came into the United States and only like worked for a year and he sees an opportunity to buy, he sees that real estate, he's always been investing in real estate. So now he wants to invest here. What are the options available? For example, he just filed his first tax report. Do you work with people like that, like just income statements?
Income. So it depends on their status. Like, I mean, if you're here on a student or tourist visa, you probably have a really low chance. But if they're here on some kind of like work visa, like for example, I have people that work. I mean, a lot of my clientele is like software engineers or just IT community. But I have people that come here from Ukraine, from Russia, from Belarus, and they might have a job here, but it's only a year long. But somehow we're able to find someone, and I've done it many times in my career. Somehow we're able to find someone in their home country at the previous job. I mean, they all have work experience. It's just like maybe not everyone has 2 years in the US. But if we could find the previous employer and get an income verification, most of the time, this person only needs 1 year working here to get a regular loan.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Thank you for this information.
Of course. All right. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, Steve. And if you guys have any questions, I will post Steve Tsvetkov information in the comments. Feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help you, to guide you, and help you make the best decision buying your home. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ksenia. Bye.
Bye.